So in the last two classes, we had seen two uh, gradient of a scalar field and divergence of a vector field. Okay. Now, so gradient of a scalar field, we had seen it is a vector, some vector, and gradient of a divergence of a vector field is some scalar. Okay, some scalar. Say this. Now, we will introduce today the third thing. We have also seen the physical meanings of gradient and divergence. Now, the third thing is curl of a vector field. So, if this is a vector field, what is this? Okay. Uh, Consider that I have a vector field, some C vector. Okay, C is Cx xyz I plus Cy xyz j plus Cz xyz k. Right. Uh, for our own convenience, we take two dimensions. Okay, it is still where everything is very much three dimensional. For our own convenience, let us take two dimensions. Let us take C equal to Cx xyi plus Cy xyj. C is also, of course, a function of xy. Fine. So this is my vector field C xy. This is equal to this. Okay. Let us try to calculate this C xy dl. What does this circle indicate? What does this circle indicate?
Surface integration.
Sorry, I couldn't get you. You can type on the chat.
The integration of a closed circle.
Exactly, integration over a closed path. Okay, which means that we are starting our integration and ending the integration at the very same point. So let us take, for our convenience, let us take a square path. This is a coordinate system, 2D coordinate system, Cx, x and y. This is x, of course. And this is the closed path along which we are integrating. This is a rectangle whose length is delta x and breadth is delta y, with both delta x tending to 0 as well as delta y tending to 0. The value of Cx here is Cx xy I plus Cx Cy xy j. Better write it. Better use another color. Here the Cx xy I plus Cy xy j. Fine. Cx x plus delta x y I plus Cy x plus delta x y j. C x x plus delta x y plus delta y I Cx x. These are the values of C at the four corners of the square or the rectangle. Is it okay? Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Let us try this integral now. This is say A, B, C, D. So along AB, this is Cx xy, integral Cx xy, x to x plus delta x I plus cy xyj times delta xi. Okay, but so j and I will, dot product of j and I is 0, so this term will be vanished. So this is x plus delta x cx xy delta x. Okay, fine. This is along AB from this point to this point. Correct? Is it okay? Is it okay? Along AB, will this be the integral? Once again, we
Yes,
assume
sir.
that the square the rectangle is so small that the vector doesn't change significantly over derivation. Like the value of the c along A and B are almost the same. So this will be my along AB. This will be the value. What will be along BC? Along BC, along BC, it will be integral. I'm just skipping one step. Y plus delta y, cy xy. Sorry, sorry. Cy, not x. Cy, okay, x x plus delta x y delta y. Okay, okay, here it will be cy x plus delta x y times delta y. See, this value is not changed. We assume that y, it doesn't change too much along y. Okay, is it okay along here? This is this, sorry, not x, this is this and this is this. So this integral would be let us write more clearly, cy x plus delta x y delta y. Okay, fine.
Yes, sir.
What about CD? Anyone tell what will be the integral along CD? We are integrating
From x plus delta x to x.
this will be minus cx x y plus delta y delta x. Why minus? Because you see that the direction of delta x is now towards minus I, not plus I. Is it correct? Why
Yes,
minus?
sir.
Because see the arrows, the direction of delta x is now towards minus I, not plus I. Similarly, along DA, it will be cy x y delta y, negative of this, because Once again, the integration direction is towards the minus y. So if we add all this, cx xy delta x plus cy, so we can do a delta y here and do delta y here, plus cy x plus delta x y delta x delta y delta x minus cx xy plus delta y right. We are simply adding the 4 terms and multiplying and dividing so that this part is common for all. This part is common for all. Now see, from here and here, if you put the minus first, then we get cx x y plus delta y minus cx xy by delta y. Can we write this? If we take the minus out, can we write this? And from the other two, here there is no need to keep minus out. Cy x plus delta x y minus cy xy delta x delta y. Yes, y from the limits are there. Okay. X is from delta x to delta x, y is from y plus y to delta y. Okay. Can we write these things? What is this? The limits are delta x tends to 0, delta y tends to 0. What is this? What is this?
Del y x y.
Del
y
c, del cx by del y. So this is equal to minus del cx by del y or dx dy plus minus del cy by del x dx dy. So we can combine this integral del cy del x minus del cx del y dx dy. So the overall line integral is now a surface integral. Now we are integrating over the square surface dx dy. Fine. Can we say that the line integral is now converted into a surface integral? Is it okay? We started from here, CDL, and we finished at here. This was a closed line integral, and this is a surface integral now. The interesting thing here is this. What is this? Del cy del x minus del cx del y. What does this mean? What is this? Let us revise. What is curl of C? Okay. C we had defined as cxi plus cyj. Of course, cx and cy are functions of xy. We are not, for convenience, not writing that. Okay. So what is curl of C? Let us see very carefully. Cxy ijk del x del y del z cx cy and 0. Cz term is 0. So this becomes, see carefully, this is I. Del y of 0 is 0, so no point to writing. Del z of cy plus j del z of cx plus k del x of cy minus del y of cx. This is the value of curl. Sorry, this is the value of curl of C. Okay, agreed?
Sir, some people are
this is-
writing in the bottom.
I don't get it.
Sir, some
Okay,
people are
okay,
writing in
okay,
the
okay. Sorry. Of course, I can read that. Allow. Okay. So this is the value of curl. This is the value of curl. This is the curl of C. Okay. This is curl of C. Yes or no? Okay. What is this? What is this? Del z of cy. What is this?
The coefficient of
Yes,
coefficient in the I
yes.
direction.
Okay, fine, agreed. But what is the value? What is the value? Cy was a function of x and y. So what is the value of del z
Zero.
of cy? 0. This is 0. Same logic, this is 0. Correct? So these two terms are gone.
Yes, sir.
Isn't what is this and are these two things same?
Yes,
Are
sir.
these two things same? So this here, it is the z component of, or rather not z component, the curl of C. So we come to another one of the very important theorem to be used in our course, which states that closed integral of C dl that is equal to surface integral of curl of C ds. So the circulation of a vector field along a closed loop that is equal to the surface integral of the curl of that vector field along the surface of the loop. Okay, this is called Stokes theorem. Just like divergence theorem, this theorem too will be used throughout our discussion. Is this okay? Any doubts regarding Stokes theorem? Once again, just
Sir,
like
can you repeat the theorem?
theorem. Okay, theorem you can find in any book, doesn't matter. The line integral of a vector field along a closed loop is equal to the surface integral of the curl of the vector field along the surface of the loop, throughout the surface of the loop. This is the Stokes theorem. Okay. Just like divergence theorem, the proof of Stokes theorem is not included in your course, so no need to study the proof. The proof was given just for your understanding. But the statement, the expression, the problems and applications all are included. Okay. So you might be asked problem related to Stokes theorem, but you don't have to prove the Stokes theorem. Okay, clear? Suppose I have a surface like this. Okay. I divide this surface into several small surfaces of very, very small area, like this. And for each of these small surfaces, assume that all the surfaces are square. Okay, that square area is so small, all the surfaces are square or rectangle. Okay, for all such surfaces we calculate the curl. So what will be the overall curl? The not curl, we calculate the sum C dot dl for all the surfaces. Okay, so what will be the overall C plus C dot dl? What will be the overall C dot dl? Let us consider a very small part in the center. See that for the center one, this one, the hashed one, this and this are in opposite directions. Correct? Let us consider 5 square rectangles at the center. So this and this are in the opposite direction. Yes or no? Yes or no? We consider these 5.
Sir, which two?
We consider these 5. Okay, we consider these 5. We bring it out. This and this, they are in the opposite direction.
Yes, sir.
Similarly, this and this, they are in the opposite direction. All are anti-clockwise. Sorry, all are clockwise. Therefore, anti-clockwise is the same result. All are clockwise. This and this in the opposite direction, and this are also in the opposite direction, right? So for each of the inner square, the C dot dl gets cancelled out by the neighboring squares. Do you agree? For each of the inner square, the C dot dl gets cancelled out by the neighboring square. See, for this small square, all the C dot dl components are cancelled out by the neighboring squares. Correct? Can you see that?
Sir.
So what remains? Only the squares which doesn't have any neighboring square along the length. So only this part remains, because here there are no squares to cancel it out. Here there are no squares. There are no squares here. So only this part will remain. Is it okay? Is it okay?
Yes,
Sir.
sir.
So once again, the sum of the E dot dl, this, by the way, this is called circulation. Okay, this is called circulation. So sum of the circulations of all the small blocks of the surface is equal to the circulation of the vector along the edges of the surface. Is it fine? If we take
Sir, can
small,
you please repeat the last?
yes. What did we see? We see that for all the inner squares, we take circulations of all the squares. But what we saw, for inner squares, the circulations get cancelled out by the neighboring squares. Right? This is what we are
Yes,
seeing
sir.
here. So only the squares which have no neighboring squares along one of the length, only those will contribute in the overall circulation. This one, here there are no squares to cancel out. Is it okay? Here,
Yes, sir.
so this will remain like this only in the edges. So the overall sum of all the circulations is simply C dot dl.
Okay, sir.
Okay, correct. So the
Yes, sir.
sum of all the circulation of a small square is simply the circulation of the. So what is significance of curl? We had done significance of divergence. We have done significance of gradient. What is significance of curl?
Sir, it denotes the rotation of a vector.
Yes. Okay. Anything else? One person is waiting. Anything else? curl. It is simply this. If for a vector C, then what do we call vector C? Just like,
Rotational vector.
sorry, tell me.
Irrotational vector.
Very good. It is called irrotational. Irrotational. And if divergence of C was 0, then what is called? I told you last class.
Solenoidal vector.
Solenoidal. Excellent. And if curl of C is 0, then we denote C as a gradient of a scalar. We did it first class. If the
Yes,
curl
sir.
of a vector is 0, we can denote that vector as a gradient of a scalar. Okay. So that's for curl. Anything, any questions regarding curl? Oh, one last thing. If this is 0, then from Stokes theorem, this will also be 0. Right? If curl of C is 0, then if we apply Stokes theorem, we will get that the circulation of C is also 0. Right?
Yes, sir.
Fine. What does this mean?
So the vector is indicating a point. Or
Which
the,
vectors? Which vectors, my friend?
the C vector.
C vector is a vector field. C is equal to this. Cx xyzi plus cy xyzj plus cz xyzk. This thing. This is a vector field. It's not a point.
Sir, potential with respect to any
Hmm?
point is equal to
Potential.
self
not
respect to with
potential. Hmm? What does this thing mean? That this circulation, this closed integral along a loop, say gamma, of CDL is 0. What does this mean? Remember work done? What was work done? Those physics of school, work, power, energy. What was work done?
Force into displacement.
Force into displacement. So W was F dl. But that circle was not there. Now, what does this mean? That work done by this vector along the closed loop is 0. This type of vectors have a particular name. This type of fields. This type of fields are called, anybody?
Conservative.
Excellent. It is called conservative field. Did I allow Akash or something? I think by mistake I think I rejected him probably. So if he is there, please tell him to try again. Okay, I think by mistake I rejected him. So if he is there, this Akash or Akash, I don't know. He was the person. So if he is there, tell him to try again. By mistake, probably I rejected. Okay, I will accept him mistake. So tell him to try. Yes, it is called conservative fields. Can you give some example of conservative fields? Can you give some example of conservative? For all conservative fields, this circulation of along a given dl is always 0, and for all conservative field, the curls are always 0. Same like Stokes theorem, one is true, the other side must be true. Can you give some example of conservative fields? Yes, that one.
Sir, magnetic field.
No, magnetic field have a non-zero curl. Anything else?
Gravitational.
One more time, I couldn't catch you. Sorry about that.
Gravitational.
XZ, very good example. Gravitational field is a conservative field. And another one,
Electrostatics also.
electrostatic. Yes, field created by a static charge, that is conservative. Okay, but not all. But be careful, not all electric fields are conservative. Electric fields created by a changing magnetic field is non-conservative. We'll see later. Okay, so that's all for curl. Any questions? Any questions? That is all for vectors actually, for vector things. So any question regarding vectors? We will do curvilinear coordinate next. Okay, at least a cylindrical one. Then we will go to the electrostatic. Coulomb's law. We'll start Coulomb's law, Gauss law. Okay, then Ampere's law, Faraday's law, Lenz's law, then Maxwell's equation. Many interesting things are there. So anything related to vectors, like for the first 3 classes we talked vectors. Any questions regarding to vectors? This we did this first because throughout the course we will use all these vector things. Without this, it's not possible to study electromagnetics. So 46 students are there. So while you think, let me take your attendance. Or we take it later because I think I have to stop sharing this with. So we will do it later. Any questions regarding vectors? What we have done so far in this course?
Sir, no questions as of now.
You can ask later. Practice problems from speech Eigel book. So Eigel book I think is there. Also the Sadiku book is quite good. Okay. So we start with the next topic, that is curvilinear coordinates. Did you study curvilinear coordinates anyway? Cylindrical coordinate system, spherical coordinates. 2 only we need. There are many others, but those are multiple. Cylindrical and spherical. Cylindrical we will need throughout the electromagnetics. Spherical we will need when we come to antennas. Did you study this cylindrical and spherical coordinates anywhere in your course so far? Anyone? Are you familiar with cylindrical and spherical coordinate systems? No? No problem. Okay. So, I guess throughout this course, we have studied this. This is the Cartesian coordinate systems. Okay. This we are familiar with. X, Y and Z. Now, you will see when we will study the Gauss's theorem and those things. For some type of problems, it is better to use curvilinear coordinate systems. There are many curvilinear coordinate systems available, but for our course, we will need only 2. One is called the cylindrical coordinate system. Okay. And the second one is called the spherical coordinate systems. Okay. Let us start with cylindrical because that is a bit simpler. For Cartesian coordinate system, we will do only 3 dimensions. Okay, we have point P is denoted by x, y, and z. So if x, y, z is known, we can identify point P. For cylindrical coordinate system, we have similar things. Rho, this is not P, okay? This is rho. Rho is a Greek letter. Phi and Z. This Z and this Z are same. Okay? So the two Z's are same. So no problem regarding that. What is rho and phi? For a 2D case, the 2D scenario, x and y, okay, a point P is given as xy. Okay, the same point can be given in this way. This angle is phi, then this point is given as rho. X is rho cos phi, and y is rho sin phi. So if I know rho and phi, we can identify the point. It cannot be anywhere else. If rho and phi are known, we can identify the point. Yes or no? Yes or no? If we know rho
Yes,
and
sir.
phi, we can identify the point anywhere in the 2D plane. There cannot be anything else like rho and phi that will identify an unique point. Rho can, what is the range of rho? What is the range of x? In a Cartesian coordinate system, what can be 2D Cartesian coordinate system? What is the range of x, or the minimum value the x can have, or the maximum value the x can have?
Minus infinity to plus infinity.
How to find the derivative of a scalar function in the direction of a given vector? We'll discuss that later, okay? So call me and give me the problem, we'll discuss that, no problem. Yes, x can lie between minus infinity to infinity. Okay, y, same. What will be rho? What will be rho? Can rho be negative? Sorry?
No, rho cannot be
No,
negative.
it cannot be negative, absolutely. So rho can be, lowest is 0 to infinite. What about phi?
So 0 to 360.
Yes, 0 to 360 or 0 to 2 pi in radians. Or some people may say pi to pi, minus pi to pi, that is no problem. And x equal to rho cos phi, y equal to rho sin phi, rho equal to square root of x square plus y square, and phi is equal to tan inverse of y by x. Is it fine? Is it okay? These basic equations? Fine?
Sir,
Yeah? Tell me. Deepesh, please mute.
Use both hands because it's very thick.
Deepesh, please mute.
No, you're gonna need to go down right. No, right there.
I'm trying.
No,
I'm trying.
right there.
I'm trying.
Right
We'll
there.
try. Okay. Is it okay? These 4 equations?
sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Now we add z to make it 3D. So simply speaking, the z of Cartesian and cylindrical are same. X, Y, Z. Better to make it this way. X. This is X, this is Y, this is Z, right? So right, you can, okay, fine. This is our cylinder. Any point P, X, Y, Z, we can draw a projection of P on the XY plane. We note the angle phi, okay. So this can be given as rho phi z, where x equal to rho cos phi, similar, y is equal to rho sin phi, z equal to z. What is the reverse conversion? Exactly the same. Rho equal to x square plus y square, phi equal to tan inverse of y by x, z equal to z. Okay. So this is quite simple. What is not so simple is the unit vectors. Unit vectors along rho, phi and z. Okay. The unit vector along rho, it points radially outward. Okay. Unit vector along phi, it is 90 degree of that. And unit vector along z is simply k. So if we denote this unit vector as a rho, a phi and a z, then how to find a rho, a phi and az? Az is k, so this is known. How to find a rho and a phi in terms of x, y and z? That is the question. How much time is remaining in this meeting? See, the radius vector r equal to xi plus yj plus zk, which we have seen earlier, right? What is rho? Rho is the unit vector along the radius vector. Rho always points radially outwards. Is it okay? The rho vector, for every point, it points radially outwards. So we need to find a rho is simply r vector by the magnitude of r vector, that is the unit vector along r vector. Okay. So this is xi plus yj plus zk by x square plus y square plus z square. Is it okay? Okay, I am stopping recording, and because only very